Hey everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff. For a while now, I've been wanting to make a video about some of my gear that I use when I'm, going out, either doing a geologic survey or just, hanging out, just doing my own thing, exploring for my own satisfaction. And I decided that in order to make that video, I think I'd make a video about just how I go on one of my little adventures. So today we're just going to go out on a little outing, just a one-day outing, but I'm going to talk about some of my thought processes behind my gear, the decisions I make, the things I like to do, things like that. So, I'm in the car getting ready to go right now. First thing first is, how do I plan these things? Well, for me personally, I like to go places that not a whole lot of people like to go. I don't frequent hiking trails or things like that. And so one of the things I'll do often is I'll look through old maps or I'll look through Google Earth. I'll go on Google Earth and I'll look around my area and I'll say, oh, that's an interesting looking spot. I want to get there. And then I'll plan out how to get there. I'll look at Google Earth, see if I can find roads. I'll look at BLM maps, see what is access. I'll look at land survey, see, okay, is this private? Is this public? What roads can I drive on? What roads can I not drive on? If I think it's going to be a big excursion, I might go out a few days before I plan on doing this and just see what the conditions of the roads are. And if they're not good, scratch the whole thing. But sometimes, they're so far out there, it's not worth driving out there just to investigate the roads. I just find out as I go. And so that's kind of what I like to do. And I'll go onto my Google Earth and I'll make these little pinpoints. I'll give myself notes. Okay, turn here, do this, do that, go here to get onto this place, don't go here, this, that, and the other. And then I'll kind of transfer those to a Google Maps or a physical map, and I'll use that to guide myself to this new place. So that's what I do a lot of times when I'm choosing a different location. It's also really important to let people know where you're going. It's great if you know where you're at, right? That's important. But you should also let other people know where you're at. And so I go out with friends sometimes, but a lot of times I'm out by myself. And so I'll let people know, hey, I'm going to these coordinates. If I'm not back by this time, either tomorrow or the next day or tonight, go ahead and call for help and send them here, because I might be in trouble. So always take, the proper precautions. Safety first. Obviously, one of the most important parts of any adventure is your gear. And this is going to vary based on what you're doing, where you're going. You take into account temperature, climate, elevation, activities that are planned, things like that, how long you're going to be out. But there's a couple of things that I think are kind of just general, take it with you all the time type of gear. Water. Always have water with you. First aid kit. Very, very important. Make sure you're dressed right. Obviously, a knife is a great thing to have with you. Bring food. I like granola bars are great for a little burst of energy. Sardines and crackers are fantastic. Give you a little bit of protein, some substance, and things if you get stranded out there. If you feel like it's necessary, a gun, a firearm of some kind. For a lot of my hiking and stuff, a .22 pistol does just fine. Not necessarily a revolver. You can get something with more capacity. I just like to go cowboy style. Things like that. So make sure before you leave that you have everything you need with you. Big process, or a big part of my process of adventuring, is free-spirited exploration. So while driving to the place that I'm intending to go today, I looked and I saw this huge limestone outcrop here, and I thought, that looks like an amazing place to find some awesome crinoid fossils. And as I'm looking out here, I see we've got limestone, maybe some shales, maybe some sandstones. Go look at those for some fossils. And then up the cliff, I think I see an old mine tailor. There's some loose rubble up there. Well, I didn't find any crinoids yet, but there, about Focus up, camera. It's a huge brachiopod. There is what's left of a snail, gastropod of some kind. I saw some coral fossils. Oh, look at that. Oh, where was that? There's a little brachiopod. Ooh, look at that right there. That's pretty. Let's see. There's another one. Fairly decent shape. So yeah, this was a good idea to come over here. Very cool. Well, there's a crinoid right there, along with a brachiopod, 2 of them. A lot of the fossils here are in pretty rough shape. The reason I thought I'd find crinoids here is because this limestone is Pennsylvanian in age, and I've been on the other side of this mountain, and there's this huge crinoid meadow. Some beautiful, beautiful crinoid fossils. But now, I don't think I'm looking for crinoids anymore. Look at this. This here, these are remains of some gastropods. I'm on the hunt for snails now, because those look pretty nice. If I can find some good ones, it'd be very, very cool. Oh, look, there's another one right there that's weathering out. Very, very cool. And yeah, another one. Yeah, okay. We're gonna find ourselves a good gastropod. And this stuff here, these chert nodules and things, some of these are coral fossils. So, all right, let's take a look. And then maybe we'll go up there to that line. This is really cool. So this here is a chunk of rugose coral that's in beautiful, beautiful shape. Really, really love that. What a find. So that's the best one of the day. So far, best find of the day. Yeah, all right, I'm still on the hunt for that snail though. There's a lot of good crinoid fossils in there. I'm not gonna keep that rock though. Ooh, and look at that. That's gorgeous. Got some more fragments over there. Looks like the snails are not very resistant to weathering. They break up pretty easy, so I don't know if I'll find one, but I'm not giving up. All right, there's a pile of loose rubble I saw. We've climbed about 450 feet. I found these really, really awesome crinoids on the way up. Look how beautiful that is. I set that right there and I'll get it when I come back. Let's see what this is all about. This looks interesting. Oh, look at that. Holy cow. Obviously, I'm not the first person up here. Don't trash it. I agree with that. Oh, wow. This is really cool. Wow. Very cool. So not a mine, but a nice little cave. Very nice. It really does amaze me how much life is in these rocks. If we look at this rock right here, we see a bunch of different things. Right there is a bunch of crinoid bits. Here's what's left of a bryozoan. It might be a little thing of coral. Just absolutely remarkable. And look at this. Isn't that beautiful? The fossils aren't in the best shape, as I already said, but man, I like them. Look at this big thing of coral here. It's awesome. we've got something really interesting. We've got this huge arroyo cutting down through these layers. Looks like we've got a shale here at the bottom. That white unit there is probably a sandstone or siltstone. And then we've got that limestone cropping up on the top over there. So let's see if we can find some fossils in this, actually. That might take us this way. Take a hammer with us. Well, no sooner had I turned off the camera and run down this hill when I found something. Let's see if we can get this right. Selenite crystals. And looks like right here we've got some more really nice calcite and stuff. So yeah, lots of very shiny minerals here in this stuff. Let's see if we can find some very, very nice fossils. Once again, no sooner had I turned the camera off, I need a GoPro, then I found this, which is a decent fossil. It is crushed up, but I like that's got all this calcite on it. It's kind of sparkly, not really showing up in the camera. We might keep that, I'm not sure. We've got some fossils in these rocks here. Nothing real great. There's some pretty cool calcite. So yeah, this one we might keep. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's go find some more stuff. Alrighty, there's my favorite find of the day. Can you see it? Let's zoom in. Look at that thing. Tiny little brachiopod, but it's got this red and kind of pinkish staining on it that I really, really love. So yeah, ooh. Oh wow, this is really, really fragile. Look. That's how, ooh. We got just about the carapace only on this thing. Really, really cool. Very fragile little fossil. Very delicate. So we're going to definitely make sure we take good care of that one. There's something in there. Yeah, I think I found a pretty good spot. I might stay here all day today. We might never get to the place I was planning on going. Wow, there's some huge crystal. Oh, is that a little bit of gypsum? No, just more calcite, selenite. Very neat. Put it here with my other stack of stuff. I'm going to set you very, very gently on top. Stay there. Oh yeah, let's get out in the sun and look at this red. Look how pretty that is. That is reddish pink, some orange. I love it. That's beautiful. Look at this. So this chunk of shale kind of slid down here, being eroded away. Look at all this. Oh yeah, look how cool that is. I love shale. It's so fun. We got all kinds of calcite chunks and stuff. And if we look up here, let's get out of the sun a little bit. You see all these little calcite deposits in the shale. Quick geology lesson. When you see shales, you need to think deep marine or somewhat deep marine environments. Shales form from kind of those deep ocean oozes. And so then we look up there, we see this sandstone. Well, we're seeing a change of environment over the course of millions of years. That's a beach. So what we're seeing here is the ocean receding. This is when the ocean was deep. Now it's getting shallow. We're getting sands instead of these oozes. So very, very cool. I'm gonna keep looking through this shale, see if I can find some fossils. I doubt it. All the calcite, by the way, is coming from, whoa, steady on, is coming from sea critters, right? Lots of sea creatures use calcite to form their shells, and when they die and stuff, that calcite is precipitated into the, well, it's dissolved into the water and gets precipitated out, and calcite is recycled quite a bit in the oceans. Okay, we've got a lot of cool stuff going on this little hill slope. We'll get to it. First of all, I've been finding a lot of this really, really beautiful, focus up, kind of fibrous calcite. It's gonna look gorgeous when I clean it up. Be careful when you're cleaning calcite. Don't leave it in water for too long because it is water soluble. I found this beautiful little shell, tried to chip it out. It was in a bigger rock. I think that's about as good as I'm gonna get right now with the big hammer I have. And then look at this. Yeah, we got more calcite there. Woo, calcite. Look at this. Oh no, where'd it go? Oh shit. Oh crap. Okay, I gotta get my bearings about me. Where did it go? Okay, somehow I found it again. Gosh, I'm good. Focus up, camera. Look at how beautiful that is. And actually I'm finding, this guy's a little bit upside down, I'm finding more pieces of shells that are actually pretty beautifully preserved. See, they're just fragments, and even this one here, this really good one that has the front of the shell preserved, is incomplete. Maybe I can find a complete one. Oh, look at that. Well, that's pretty. It's got a nice little sparkle to it. So yeah, we're gonna stay on this slope for a little bit and keep looking for these fossils. Maybe I'll find a good one. You know, it's been a while since I've been out fossil hunting. A lot of what I've been doing lately is like, you know, fluorite and stuff like that, mineral hunting. So it's good to do some fossil hunting now. It's been too long. Alright, once again, we got a lot of really good stuff. For one, I'm finding a lot of this kind of shell hash. Focus up. There's just a bunch of shells kind of crunched together, which honestly, some of it is really beautiful, like that piece there. And then found another little red brachiopod. I like these red ones. I've found so many brachiopods over the years that nowadays the ones I keep are the ones that I find to be particularly unique or beautiful. Oh, there's another one that's pretty complete. It's cool. Very cool. Into the pocket with both of those. And you know what, I'll keep that little bit of hash. Let's see, what's this? Oh, wow, look at that. Yup. That's a keeper. Holy cow, look at that. Man, I've been Butterfingers today. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And this is a species of brachiopod that I don't normally find out here. Now, I'm not an invertebrates expert. I can't remember the name of this thing. I'll figure it out, though. Ooh. Look at that. There's another little, very complete one. This is the most complete one I found. It has a little bit of that staining. Not as pretty as the others, but more complete. So, in the pocket with him. Yeah, this is a good spot. A very good spot indeed. I just put 2 in my pocket, and there's another one not that good, but still pretty cool. There's one. There's one. These are all kind of tiny ones, and I like that. All the ones that I find in other places are pretty big. Oh, set those 2 there. There's another one I saw. Where did he go? Oh, there's a kind of neat one. It actually might be coral. No, that's a brachiopod. Yeah, look at that. They are all over the place. Very cool. Oh, look at that. There's one with a little bit of the red. Very cool. Once again, as soon as I turn off the camera, look at that. Oh, I love the red color on this. It's beautiful. Just, gosh, it's all gorgeous. It's all gorgeous, let's be honest. If I could take the whole mountain, I would. Wow. It's a nice little vein of that calcite running through there. There's a big bunch of shell hash in that rock there. Very cool. Very cool. I think I just found the most complete one of the day so far. Look at that little guy. What a cutie. What a cutie. And he is hanging on to the remains of another brachiopod. Yeah, that's awesome. Good deal. Well, damn it, I was wrong. I found my new favorite just now. Oh, and what's that? Okay, so there's another little tiny guy. Hey, he's cute. I'll keep him. Okay, so number 1, look at this one right here. That one's really cool. It's a different species than some of these other ones. But then, this Put these ones in a pocket real quick. Look at this little thing. This is a different bivalve. This is a pelicopod, which I don't typically find out here. So that's really, really cool. I'm definitely keeping that one. Oh my goodness, I found another clam. Focus up here, camera. Wow, is that another piece of one? Can't tell. Whoa, and that might be a fragment of one. Geez, never found clams out here. And now I found two today. This is turning into quite an interesting day. Yes! Remember I said I was determined to find a gastropod today? Well, I just found one of the coolest gastropods I've ever found. Look at that little guy. Look at him. Oh, he's so cute and pokey too. Sharp little guy. Love him. Love him. Oh, and actually there's a lot of good stuff here. Holy cow. Yep. Oh, wow. Look at that. Holy cow, this is a clam. Both valves. No, this is a brachiopod too. It's got a symmetry across the top of the valves. Look at that, he's so tiny and cute. Oh gosh, what else do we have here? Okay, that looks interesting. Okay, that's a good one. That's an interesting colored one. Wow! Wow! Good golly. I've been fossil hunting ever since I was a little kid. And for a long, long time, every single fossil I found went in my pocket. And nowadays I'm a little more choosy. I pick stuff up, it's like, oh, look at this. You know, let's find one right here. That's cool, but I've seen better. And so you toss it. And that's how you know you're becoming a weirdo. A knife, or not a knife, a rock nut. I'm a knife nut too. But gosh, a lot of the stuff I'm finding here is really cool. I just picked up 4. No, that's, oh my goodness. That's not 4, guys. I can't count, that's 6. 6 little brachiopods right here, and they're all really nice. They have that pink and red staining. They're a little bit shiny. I like them. This is a really, really good spot. And that's another thing too. I'm finding stuff that's like, okay, that's not good because there's so much good stuff out here. So yeah, this is a really good spot. You know, guys, I'm trying very hard not to film every single thing I find, but it is all so good. I mean, just right here, I found 3 fantastic specimens, and this one right here especially is just amazing. Rotate. Look at that. Look at that. Oh man, my pockets are so freaking heavy. And we haven't even gone that far. Well guys, we have finally arrived at the place I was trying to get to today. I found a bunch of mines in this area when I was looking at it on Google Earth, and I already know I've been at 2 mines that are on the other side of this hill, other side of that ridge there. I haven't been to these ones though. Sitting here and I've already seen a lot of mines. There's one there, there's one over there. If we look, you might see that little tailing of stuff right over there. That's a little mine. And then if we turn this way, some mining stuff up through there. And then I kind of got on the wrong road there. I didn't mean to. There's actually more on the other ridge over, but we'll just hike to those. We'll, park here and hike to those. I have already gone through and done a little bit of a preliminary check on these mines here. That one over there doesn't really go that far into the mountain, probably like 10 feet. And this one here actually is full of a lot of trash that some miners threw in there, which some of it I think is more modern, some of it's pretty old, so we'll go check that out. Nothing super interesting, but they are mines and those are always cool. But yeah, I already did go and check them out a little bit. I left my phone here, it had to charge, so I've got it hooked up to the battery pack I keep with me. I already went and did my cougar checking. The mines are empty, uninhabited, a couple of bats and some squirrels, that's it. One of these days on the channel, I will have to tell a story about when I went down into a abandoned mine that had been converted into a cougar's den, shall we say. It's a fun story. But here we are out here. Let's talk a little bit about gear. So first of all, just want to talk a little bit about what I'm wearing. This is how I typically look out in the field. Oh, and plus my backpack here. Let's put that on. Let's put that on because backpack is an important part of my getup, right? So there we go. That's what I normally look like when I'm out here in the field, whether I'm doing research or mapping or if I'm just out here for fun. Now, there's a couple of things I want to talk about with this channel. So, first of all, I like to color code my gear. Why? I don't know. I guess it does have a couple of uses when I'm out in the field with other people. It's easy to be like, oh, that's Gideon stuff because it's black and green. And that's what I stick with. I like black and green. I got a green cap, this black hoodie. I've got 4 pairs of these green outdoor pants. And I like to match my knives and stuff to my gear. So something I have really been liking recently and I've decided is going to be my go-to color for field knives is black and green. You can see that here on this Civivi Vision FG. Love this colorway, right? I don't know why, but it really, really appeals to me. And again, it's kind of easy to match outdoor equipment to that. In addition, you can see my field knife I have with me here. My Cold Steel SRK, this is my new one. Black blade, green handle. I really, really love that look. And so nowadays whenever I'm buying a knife, if I see that it has that color option, that green and black, if it's a knife that I think I'd use out in the field, I'm probably going to get that version of it. Another good example is my Sencut Waxahachie. Look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? I especially love green micarta. But yeah, so I think that's really, really cool. Let's look at some of my other gear. I already talked about the green pants, green hat and stuff. Green backpack, obviously, and I really like this pack. This is an outdoor products pack. You can buy these at Walmart. They're super cheap, right? They're like 30 bucks. They're 30 bucks for a backpack. And I find them to be okay. They could have a little more room for certain things, but I like them. I've had 3 of them. 2 of them have been stolen, but I've had 3 of them. They all worked really, really well. They held up through a lot of, pretty hard use and abuse. I feel like I can get all my essentials in there. Hammer, first aid kit, lunch, all that stuff, and still have room for rock samples and things like that. So I'm a big, big fan of this pack, honestly. Let's look at some other gear that I have that I also go with the black and green theme on. This here is my Brunton compass, also called a surveyor's compass or geologist compass. And I guess this isn't a Brunton. Brunton's a brand name thing. This is not a brand name Brunton. But you see, mine is green with a black pouch. That's fun, right? Makes it easy for me to know that it's mine, I guess.
So through the course of this video, I keep saying color coding, and it's pissing me off because that's not the right term. What I mean is color matching. Color coding is a different thing. Color coding is like what I do with my notes. This is an example of color coding. I like to write very colorful notes. Just getting gear that's all the same color is not color coding necessarily, it's color matching. So forgive me for the frickin' word salad falling out of my mouth in this video.
Is it important to color code stuff? Probably not, but I get a lot of satisfaction out of it. And as someone who is an EDC enthusiast, a hobbyist, I mean, I'm a knife nut, I'm a gear nut like you guys. That gives me a certain kind of satisfaction. It gives me the special little ooh factor, you know, matching everything. And I think it's really, really cool. I think it's really fun. So that's why I do it. Also wanted to say, Sencut Waxahachie, and the Cold Steel SRK. This is more of my field knife. This is a knife that I can do pretty much anything with. It's a general cutting tool, but it can also be a survival implement. It's a very nice, robust, heavy-duty knife that I can and have trusted with my life. Sencut Waxahachie. This is more of an EDC fixed blade for me. However, I have carried this out in the field. It does make a really, really good field knife. There are certain times where I've carried this, instead of the SRK. For example, if I'm working close to camp, right? If we've got camp set up somewhere and then I'm just hiking over the ridge for the day and, going around and then coming back real quick. Camp is really, really close. This is a fixed blade that I can wear on my belt, and anything I run into out in the field, normally this can handle it. And then if I've got bigger tasks, I can go right back to camp, grab the SRK, grab an axe if I need to, things like that. So that's really, really cool. Another piece of gear that I match with my colorway that's going to be important today when we're going into some caves is my flashlight. This is the Olight Artfeld. I love this light, and yep, I've got it in the green and black, right? Really, really fun little piece of gear right there. Another piece of gear that I have on me quite often that is technically color matched is my Rite in the Rain pin. This one has been beat up quite a bit, but this one is the OD green version. So always have a pin with you, right? Now, in addition to my color-coded gear, I have more gear that the color of it matters. That was a horrible, horrible sentence. I've got gear whose color is important to its functionality. So a lot of times I will actually wear under this, I'm not wearing it today, but I'll wear like a neon orange or green shirt, and that helps, to signal if I get trapped somewhere, I can signal for help, come get me, bright colors. But I also always carry something that's orange. This is a bandana that I got when I took hunter safety as a kid. Let's open this up. It's also got a lot of really, really interesting and helpful facts on it, so that's really, really good. And then I don't really think I need to go over all my gear. Fire starter, emergency poncho, all the usual stuff. Something else I want to talk about, or just kind of clear up, because I'm sure people will ask, is the 22 pistol. Why? Right? Why is this kind of my go-to field gun? Well, for a couple of reasons. Like today, I'm only planning to be out here for a day, right? It's going to be dark by the time I get home, but it's just kind of a day trip here. I'm not necessarily planning on doing any shooting, but I want to have a gun with me in case, right? A lot of times I also have my shotgun in my truck, if, just in case my truck's close. But I like the pistol, and again, you don't have to go with the revolver. I just like the revolver because, I like feeling like a cowboy, even when I'm not on the ranch. But, and I guess you can make a case for it's a little more resistant to dirt and stuff. I don't really think about it that way, but, you can make that distinction. But I already talked about, I like the 22 because I can take a lot of 22 ammo with me. It doesn't really take up a whole lot of room. 100 rounds of 22, it's not a whole lot, right? So if I do end up getting stranded somewhere, I've got 100 rounds to play around with, to help me survive. That's nothing to take a stick at, right? The other thing, too, is I prefer the pistol over the rifle, over a 22 rifle for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's smaller, it's easier to pack, and it sticks in my backpack. I can wear this on my belt. It's great, right? The other thing is the pistol is louder than the rifle. So if I need to scare something away, the pistol makes a lot more of a bang. And especially in these canyons and stuff, this thing will really, really echo, right? 22 rifle has more of that zip kind of sound, and this makes more of a pop. So, if you need to make noise, I think the pistol's a lot better for that. Hard on the ears though, right? But yeah, that's kind of my philosophy on that. If I am going to be out in the field for extended periods of time, camping and stuff, again, I usually have my shotgun with me, and I like the shotgun because it's pretty versatile, right? Shotguns are great. Keep some birdshot with me, keep some buckshot with me. I can take down big prey if I really need to. I can take down small animals. And in most survival situations that I would find myself in, I'm not really wanting to go for a big prey animal anyways, right? And so a 22 pistol can help me take down small prey pretty easily. So that's why I carry this guy around. I do have a custom sheath for this guy made by oh gosh, I can't remember his name. Oh man, I feel terrible. I've got his business card actually, but he's he makes holsters right here in New Mexico in Glenwood, and so I really appreciate that. A little bit of not just USA made, but New Mexico made gear with me. So, and it's a great holster too. It's really nice. I like it a whole lot, and you can see here I've gotten quite a lot of use out of it. But yeah, there we go. And just for the sake of being completionist, here's what I'm going to look like today walking out there. So wearing my gun cross straw is something I started doing when I was a youngster. I would a lot of times sometimes put it in my bag while I'm walking, but today I'm going to be picking up a lot of rock samples, so I don't want them banging around with my gun in there. So I'm going to wear it on my hip on the way over, and then, you know, coming back, obviously. But yeah, when I was a youngster, I remember we went on this cattle drive, and I was horseback, and my dad had an old J.C. Higgins model 1898, I think, 22 revolver, 9-shot, really fun gun, honestly. It belonged to his grandpa. It was, you know, pretty old, and I borrowed that for that ride. And we're going along, and I'm riding, I'm wearing it on this side, and it keeps hitting me up in the side. Every time we take a bump, it hit me in the side, and I didn't like it. I couldn't stand it. And so on the way back, I said I was going to switch it around. I found this was a little bit easier. It sometimes bump up and hit me in the side, but it was more the rounded part of the butt instead of the hammer hitting me. I was like, yeah, that's nice. I like that better. And so I just kind of started doing that. And now when I'm hiking out and walking and stuff, I find this to be a good setup. Got my knife over here. Got my gun over here. I can grab it with this hand if I need to. Right? I can grab it with this hand if I need to. And I mean, I'm not trying to, you know, be a quick draw or anything out here, right? I just need it to be out of my way. I just need a way to carry it. And so that's how I do that. Ammunition in the backpack, you know, good to go, right? So that's how I do that. And yeah, I prefer having my knife on this side because that's just easier for me to get to, right? Get out like that. And also when I'm walking around with the Cold Steel SRK, I very rarely have the snap on. I will, you know, when I'm just walking and stuff, but if I think I'm going to be using the knife, I'll carry it with the snap undone because the sheath does, you know, hold the knife very well anyways, and, you know, I just like that ease of access. So there is that. All right, now let's go and take a look at some mines. Okay, well, here is our first little mine of the day. I'm pretty sure these were intended as fluorite mines. Those are what the ones on the other side of the mountain were dug for. This mineral here is barite. They could also be mining the barite. These are economic minerals. Fluorite was really important in the early 20th century for annealing steel. You can see we got some trash and stuff back there. There's some calcite, it looks like. Yep, there's fluorite right there. Look at that. Pretty cool. Mine continues back here where we have more trash, including, focus up camera, some modern looking trash. There's drill holes in the back of that wall. And then there's modern looking trash and some older looking trash. So they must not got a whole lot out of here. They did not dig very far. I will say they did make a pretty good ceiling. A lot of these are more narrow. There's a little bit of fluorite right there. Yeah, cool. So we are on the same mountain where I was finding all those fossils, and the limestone that this mine is dug into is the same formation that was producing all those fossils. And so you might be thinking, okay, there must be a connection between these economic minerals and all those fossils. Well, no, there's not. Well, the calcite might be related. But all of this limestone was deposited during the Pennsylvanian, back in the Paleozoic. It's 300 million years old, right? And it sat under the subsurface for a long time. It was buried. And during more recent times, it was uplifted. And the rocks were exposed to the surface again. Now, when you're looking for economic minerals, there's a couple things to look for. Hydrothermal alteration and faulting, and often the two come hand in hand. When rocks fault and they slide against each other, that opens up cracks and fissures in the rock that allow water to percolate through, dissolve minerals, precipitate minerals, and you get these big stockpiles of economic minerals. A lot of economic minerals are hydrothermal. Well, these rocks were all deformed during Rio Grande rifting. I've talked about Rio Grande Rift a lot on the channel, and one of the key defining features of an area in rifting is normal faulting. This area has lots and lots of faults. So this rock was uplifted, started faulting, the minerals, the fluorite, the barite, calcite was precipitated out, and eventually miners came to the area and they started digging for those minerals. So I guess all that was fancy speak for these minerals are fairly young and are kind of a separate thing from the actual rock units that you find them in. They're secondary minerals. That's what we call them, secondary mineralization. Look at that. It's a prime example of some hydrothermal minerals. So really, really cool. We are also going to be skipping the other mine that's over there. Hi, truck. That's over there because it's really not worth seeing. It's just basically a hole in the wall. They obviously did not find anything good and decided they did not need to continue with that mine. But I am going to give you a little bit of a lesson on mine anatomy. So there's the mine that we were just in. We're going to climb on top of it. And you'll see right here, we have another hole. And this one goes straight down. So that's a shaft or a stope, and what'll happen is they'll dig those down to get to the vein, and then they'll dig a tunnel into it called an adit. So you dig down, then you dig into the side, and that allows you to access the ore, take it out of there, get tools in there, all that stuff. So now I'm going to shut up and stop talking because we have quite a long walk ahead of us before we get to what I hope are some more interesting and compelling mines. So I will see you on the other side of that. That's the road I was supposed to come in on. And then there's an old mining road right here, so we'll go ahead and walk along that. Up there, I can see right there is a mine. I think there's more too. And honestly, I think there's some more on the other side of this ridge as well. So we might not have enough time to get to those, but we will see. Well, shit, here I was thinking I'd have a nice easy walk, but that road ends here, so we're going off-roading again. That was a nice minute and a half while it lasted. Okay, we found a little bit of a mine. I don't really think this is going to be much of anything. Yeah. Yep. Not a whole lot in here. No, that's about it. Okay, look at that vein. The back wall. Nice. Let's keep going. Well, guys, we found a big one. So let's go down here. This is one of those times I wish I had a GoPro or a hat mountable flashlight. Oh, I think this one just goes to here. Or not. Not seeing any animal sign. Very cool. Interesting. Not huge, but very, very cool. Alrighty. Something I want to point out here at the entrance. There's a stump. Is you see this kind of crumbly looking rock? That's a fault breccia. So, big fault here. The guys that dug this mine found it and they're like, oh, let's dig a hole. And they did. Okay guys, I haven't recorded anything in a while, because I didn't find anything to record. A lot of the mines I went into were just sucky. They were just blasting to the side of the canyon. I was thinking to myself, what the heck is this? I was feeling disappointed and robbed, although probably not as disappointed and robbed as the miners who came out here felt, right? They hadn't found anything. And yet I came to the top of the mountain, I'm looking around, and there's all these roads going everywhere. I'm like, there must have been something they were out here for. There must be a mine somewhere. I kept looking and looking. There it is. So we're gonna go ahead and go in there. I wasn't that disappointed. I mean, the view that we have out here is absolutely spectacular. My camera can't even capture it. So there's the mine. I did already go in, but let's just take in, focus camera. Let's just take in how breathtaking this is for a little bit. However, not too long. I do have to get going because we're about to lose sunlight and it's going to get cold. So this mine does have lots of the purple fluorite that the other one on the other side of the mountain is known for. So this is why those guys kept trying. They knew there was good stuff out here, and yeah, there was. Those pieces looked a lot better in the mine in the light of my flashlight. There's some purple fluorite. There's a little more. Look at that. So let's go in there and find some cool stuff. Yeah, I knew those guys must have been pretty disappointed because a lot of the mines that I was finding were lacking in the quality of ore, and the stuff on the other side of the mountain was much more substantial, both in quantity and quality. And look at this. Isn't that beautiful? And there's a ladder down here. I was like, wow, that's so cool. An original ladder from when this was dug. But no, I think this is a much more recent ladder added by fluorite hunters who wanted to get up there and chip away at that purple fluorite vein. And they either left it here for future fluorite hunters, such as myself, or they thought they were the only ones that came here. If it's the former, thank you, friend. I appreciate that. If it's the latter, my dear, your hubris knows no bounds. That's interesting. That's a bandana. We might see if there's a message in there. That must mean that the person that left the ladder probably didn't think that they're the only ones that come here. Wow. Look at this. Echoey too. Let's turn off the light real quick just so you can get an idea of how dark it is. Yeah, that's dark. I can't see anything. Couldn't see my own hand in front of my face. Oh, this is awesome. Got to take some time to get myself some really, really nice fluorite chunks, and then we'll get going. So cool. So cool. Well, I'm heading back. Yeah, it's gonna get dark here pretty soon. On the plus side, I get to see the sunset, and it's gonna be a glorious one, I can tell you what. But I do need to get back to my truck and get on the road before it gets too dark, because yeah, these roads are kind of bad. The other thing too is it is January, and even though today was a balmy 73 degrees, it gets cold in the desert. Something a lot of people don't take into account. I've heard so many stories of people who are in the desert hot, and they decide they're going to lay down and take a rest, fall asleep, sleep through the night. It gets to be nighttime and they freeze to death because it gets well below freezing. I've also heard stories about people hiking all day in the desert. They get sweaty, and then nighttime falls and the temperature drops so quick the sweat freezes their skin, and that can result in death. So that's not a good thing, obviously. And yeah, the temperature has dropped considerably in just the last couple of minutes. Plus, I've got this big mountain here that is going to block the sun out quite early. Well, there you have it, guys. Adventure over. I'm recording this a couple of days later. During our little hike, we went 5 miles. Total elevation gain, up and down of 1,000 feet. So, it's not bad for a day trip. Definitely a place that I really, really loved. I'm definitely going to be going back. It's now one of my favorite places on earth. That sunset was absolutely incredible. And I realized I never looked in that bandana that was in that last mine. So I might have to go back this weekend and see what that's all about. I might make a short on that. So, keep your eyes peeled for that. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this video. This is a little bit different, but I wanted to make a video that kind of throws a bunch of things together, kind of an adventure video with some gear talk and things like that. Let me know what you guys thought. If you appreciated it, we might do more of this in the future. I certainly had a lot of fun hiking out there, finding some fossils, finding some fluorite, finding one of my new favorite places on Earth. It was a really, really great day. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to my channel members. Old Tonto Guy is our member at the cowboy level. I really appreciate the support. It means a lot. And yeah, I've been Gideon. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Adios.